my instinct, it's only an instinct. Obviously, nobody knows. My instinct is that Trump himself hasn't done anything particularly wrong, especially in this Russia thing. But he can investigate anything he wants. And if you think for a minute that this is going to quiet things down for longer than a day, forget about it. I mean, if you heard the statements that the Democrats were making, this is a good first step. Almost every one of them said this is a good first step. We know what the second step is: tar and feathers, and then they carry you out and throw you in the Potomac. That's the second step. So it's like a good first step. They are never, ever, ever going to let this guy go. And right now, if you listen to them, they don't want to talk impeachment. They don't want to talk impeachment at all. Why? Because then you have President Pence for 3.5 years, and he'll do, all this hysteria will go away. Here's a guy who's a practiced politician. He knows what he's doing. And even conservatives, I've heard them say, they've said it to me, like, well, it wouldn't be so bad if we had, calmed down and all the end of the hysteria. But what's bad about it is letting the deep state and the media and the Democrats win. And I'm going to get back to that in a minute. But, Donald Trump, who just cannot put a sock in it, it's like he tweets out today, this is the single greatest witch hunt of a politician in American history. All right, with all of the illegal acts that took place in the Clinton campaign and Obama administration, there was never a special counsel appointed. Now, listen, that's absolutely true. It's not true in the Clinton campaign. He's talking about Hillary. But that is absolutely true. Obama, all those scandals, the IRS scandal, no counsel. Fast and Furious, no counsel, And James Comey felt the DOJ, the Department of Justice, wasn't even credible enough during Obama's administration for him to bring the Hillary Clinton investigation to them. That's why he made his famous press conference. That's why he gave it, because he thought that they had blown their credibility. No special counsel. I don't know. Obama could have strangled Michelle on the White House lawn. There would not have been a special counsel investigation. Should Trump be tweeting that? Of course not. Of course not. What do you think Mueller feels when he sees that? I'm being accused of a witch hunt. Is that the way? Is that the way you make friends with the guy who's investigating you? No, of course not. It's a stupid thing to say, but it is true. And just the whole standard, the whole double standard, is infuriating. It makes your eyes bleed. And by the way, at this point, the press and Steve Bannon are as one. Steve Bannon and the press completely agree. Here's what Steve Bannon said at CPAC just a few months ago.
It's not only not going to get better, it's going to get worse every day in the media. And here's why. But by the way, the internal logic makes sense. They're corporatist, globalist media that are adamantly opposed to an economic nationalist agenda like Donald Trump has. President Trump really laid this out, as Ryan said, many years ago at CPAC. It's really CPAC that really originally gave him the springboard. It's the first time at Breitbart we started seeing him and saw how people, his speeches resonated with people. And then he would go out to these smaller town halls later, and really he got traction with the same message he's bringing today. Here's why it's going to get worse, because he's going to continue to press his agenda. And as economic conditions get better, as more jobs get better, they're going to continue to fight. If you think they're going to give you your country back without a fight, you are sadly mistaken. Every day it is going to be a fight.
Okay, and so if you think they're going to give you your country back without a fight, they're sadly mistaken. Here's Dana Bash on CNN saying essentially the same thing.
Right or wrong, what this president has done in his first 100+ days, even before he came into office, is pick fights with the intelligence community and now the law enforcement community, particularly the way, never mind that he fired James Comey, but the way in which he did it, not giving him the respect of actually telling him in person, or at least not having him find out from cable news. And so we know that this is, they talk about the deep state. Well, these are communities that have a lot of loyalty within and know how to get back, even if you're the president of the United States.
So she's saying the same thing. He messed with the deep state, and now the deep state is coming after, and we're going to help them every step of the way. It's like democracy dies in darkness. Democracy dies on CNN. We're watching democracy die in real time on TV. And listen, about Trump, because this is the thing I get all the time whenever I talk about the fact that I think the true danger that we're facing right now is this uprising of the deep state, of these intelligence guys who think it is okay for them to call the New York Times, okay for them to call the Washington Post because they do not like the president. And a media which says, a news media which says, yeah, that's okay, let's destroy the president. That's great. We don't like him. He's Republican. He's kind of nasty. Let's get him. That to me is the danger that faces our democracy, our American democracy. That's the big danger.